I'm going to be showing you how to make this really easy and simple Mexican rice. It takes maybe 15 minutes from start to finish. The first thing you're going to do is get a pot and put some oil, some olive oil in it. I use olive oil. You could use vegetable oil, really any type of oil works, and you'll just want to put enough to cover the bottom of your pot. I'm only making this for myself, so I'm using a pretty small pot. But yeah, you put in just enough to cover the bottom, and then put in slightly more than enough to cover the bottom of rice. You'll see in a minute when I stir this what the consistency should look like. So the consistency you want is basically the oil and the rice, they're going to form clumps. If they're not forming clumps, then you need to add more oil, and then if it's like too clumpy, like mine was a little too clumpy that first time around, then you'll just add more rice. Basically you just want the oil to kind of start sticking the rice particles together. And then what you're going to want to do is just stir that around until it starts browning. You don't want all of the pieces of rice to brown, but you do want some of them just to get a little bit toasty looking. My rice has gotten a little brown at this point, and that is exactly what you want. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to put a little bit of water in it, just enough to kind of cover the top. And be careful when you put the water in, it's going to steam like all over the place. And then once you get the water in there, you just kind of let it boil for a while. Kind of keep an eye on it to make sure that the water doesn't run out. If the water gets too low and the rice still isn't cooked, you'll want to add more water, but other than that, you just kind of keep an eye on it until the rice is done cooking. So I just added a bit of water to it, and now you're going to add your tomato paste. I don't really measure this either. I don't really measure anything when I cook, but you're just going to kind of want to get like a good dollop on a spoon or a fork or whatever cooking utensil you have, and go ahead and mix that in. Now that most of the water has boiled out and the rice is cooked, it's time to add the spices. And the spices I add smoked paprika, and I find that the smoked paprika really helps give a like red color to the rice too. Obviously you got the tomatoes in there, but the smoked paprika really helps, and it gives it, I don't know, a nice smoky taste. And then I add this adobo seasoning, the one with the cumin. You can find this in like the international Mexican Latin part of your local supermarket, more than likely. And I go ahead and just add those to taste. About 5 dashes of the smoked paprika for this amount, and then maybe like 8 dashes of the Goya adobo seasoning. And I just go ahead and mix that in. But really, with the seasonings and with the tomato as well, it's all to taste. So I tasted it after I added the seasonings, and I thought, you know, it needed a little bit more tomato in there. And also, just by the color, looking at it, I could tell, you know, it wasn't red enough. So I'm adding a little bit more tomato in there. Also, at this point, I have shut off the heat on this burner. Once most of the water has evaporated out of the rice, you're going to want to shut the heat off really before you add your spices, because the steam will just keep letting more and more of the water out while you're stirring that in. So it'll all work out. You want it to be a little runny before you start adding the spices. And then that's really it. I told you guys this was a super simple recipe. So I hope you like this, and I hope you like this video, and please subscribe. Thanks for watching.